Welcome back. You're watching Question Time, and my guest is Adi Godrej, Chairman of Godrej Consumer Products Limited and overall charge of the Godrej Group. Adi, my question starts now with the family. You have three people in the family at the senior level. There is, among the men, there is you, there is Jamshed Godrej, and there is Nadir. You also have others in the family, the women, and yours has been a family which does not at all have any sexist bias. Each of them have their nodes, and there is a family council. How do you manage the family and very different businesses, and as we are getting to the next generation, very different ways of looking at business?
Yes. So we have some principles evolved. First, when I became chairman of
take us through this, because family business is very difficult.
When I became chairman of the Godrej Group in the year 2000, when my uncle Sorab passed away, I took over as chairman of the Godrej Group. I decided to form a formal family council. All family members who are shareholders in the group above the age of 16 are invited to family council meetings. We have at least 2 meetings a year. Sometimes we have more meetings. We discuss various aspects of the family's involvement with the business. Of course, family members are kept informed of the progress in the business. And we have evolved certain principles of how we will run the business. First, we believe the business comes first, and the family's interests should not prevail over business interests.
So let me be a devil's advocate on this. This is a very good principle. Now, what do you do? And we're not talking of your family. What do you do when a child, much loved, is actually a lousy businessman and has lousy business instincts, and wants a seat on the table because he's either the oldest of one of the nodes or any other reason? How do you basically say, look, you're no good at this, you should get dividends, but please don't run business? How do you say
absolutely. First of all, we insist that anybody joining the family business is at least as well qualified as our management trainees are. So they must be business graduates or engineering graduates or have knowledge to run family businesses well. That's number one. Otherwise, they can be a shareholder. So there are many family members who are not in the family business, but they are shareholders. They get the dividends. Number two, we, by and large, have had non-family professionals head most of our businesses. Except in a few cases, we might make exceptions where we expect a family member to gain experience by heading a business for a short period of time. Otherwise, all our companies are the managing directors, presidents, etc., are non-family professionals.
But at the same time, you head Godrej Consumer Products Limited, though I mean, in all fairness, Mr. Mahendran is the managing director, but you head it.
I head it. I am the chairman.
Similarly, Nadir heads Godrej Industries Limited.
Yes. But
so there is someone
the
else.
president of the chemicals business in Godrej Industries is Matthew Ike.
That's right.
He's on the board.
But so in some sense, you're not hands-off. You're very hands-on, both of you.
We are,
as indeed is Jamshed in Godrej and Boys.
But as I said, the head of the business is a non-family professional. And that creates a good balance between family interests. Now, I publicly stated that I expect chairman of our companies will be family members. I expect the chairman of the group will probably be a family member. But we want the family to be involved at the board level, at the strategy level, at the corporate governance level, and at the human resource development level. And the day-to-day management can be left to non-family professional managers. That creates for a good balance.
So tell us about the 3x3 vision of Godrej Consumer Products Limited, the 3 broad categories: personal wash, home care and hair care, and the 3 continents, which is Africa, Asia, and Latin America.
Well, we figured a good strategy for our inorganic growth would be to expand in the developing world. That's in Asia, Africa, and South America, in 3 categories where we have very strong strengths in India, especially at the bottom of the pyramid, which is household products, which is mainly household insecticides. We are by far leaders in India in this field. We're doing very well, growing very well. Hair care, especially hair color, where again we are leaders in India, and personal wash, which is a soap business, where we are not leaders, we're number 2 after Hindustan Unilever, but we have a very strong presence. So these 3 categories we know well, we know how to serve low-income consumers with excellent products at the bottom of the pyramid very well. We are able to transfer our technology and our business processes very well.
My question to you on this is, among the three verticals that you have in product categories, which is soap and personal wash, which is mostly soap, home care and household care and hair care, the third category, here's my hypothesis, that as you grow, the percentage and the absolute size may grow, but the percentage and the importance of personal wash is going to decline, and you will be known 10 years from now, not as those who produce synthol soap, but that those who produce, home care and hair care products.
Yeah, possibly, because soap is one of the only three categories in India which is fully penetrated. There is no growth through getting new consumers onto the category. Everybody in India.
And if it's penetrated here, it's penetrated everywhere.
Yeah, it's penetrated in many countries. So it's not going to grow very rapidly, and you may be right. We've been growing by increase in share, but you may be quite right. Already soap now, toilet soap, forms only 25% of the turnover of Godrej consumer products. Just 2 years ago, it was 60%. So you're right. The salience of soap in our company will.
How would you feel if synthol did not feature?
Well, synthol will always feature. I think synthol is growing. It will continue to grow. It will be a great brand, but it won't be our greatest brand. So, for example, already I feel Godrej hair colors, Good Night, are stronger brands than synthol is. Even in soap, Godrej #1 is a much bigger brand than Godrej synthol.
Completely change the topic. We're coming towards the end. How did you meet Parmesh?
I met her when I was very young, when I just come back from America. A good friend of mine was very good friend with her brother, and we got introduced, and then...
And how soon did you propose? Or who proposed? You proposed, she proposed?
First of all, I knew her. We used to go out in groups, and there was nothing much between us for 6 months. It was only then that a relationship started, and I proposed to her maybe about a year after we met.
And she was still flying?
No, when we met, she wasn't flying. She started flying after we met. Right. I'd encouraged her to fly. And
flying as a stewardess for Air India, right?
Stewardess for Air India. And I proposed to her after that, yeah.
And what was her reaction when you proposed? Or was she expecting it?
Well, I don't think we had there was a real formal kind of proposal. After a while, we knew each other well enough that we probably both expected that we'd get married. And I don't think it was very formal.
Are you still a fitness freak? I know that you did a 42-kilometer parikrama of Kailash in one day, the full parikrama. Yeah. Are you still a fitness freak?
Yeah, very much so. I exercise at least 10 hours a week. I like to keep fit. I've never missed a day of work out of sickness in my life. And I thank goodness I enjoy good health.
May the Almighty continue in keeping you in good health. Thanks, Adi. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Great talking to you. Thank you.
That was Adi Godrej, an old friend. Wonderful as always talking to him. Thanks very much for watching the show. Till the next one, see you.